Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about DeliverThat returned my money and reactivated me. Here's what happened. So recently I made a video about how DeliverThat stole my money and deactivated me. And I was very frustrated about that. I ended up following up with a few people about it, and while I didn't expect anything to come of it, things turned out a little better than I thought, I'd say so myself. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how I got my money stolen and wrongfully deactivated, how I got both of those things back, and everything in between. But before I do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is not just market dependent, but case by case. And what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. How my money got stolen and was deactivated. So yesterday I found out that on DeliverThat, they reduced the order values of orders I already completed, and they deactivated me for making phone calls into the support teams and blocked me from being able to call in at all, which is just insane. But I did make a video about how that story went down. I will leave that in the description. Feel free to check that out if you haven't already. How I got my money back and reactivated. So during this whole debacle, I made sure that I was messaging people of influence and making sure that my voice was heard as much as possible. From executive emails to Facebook groups to YouTube, I was not gonna lie down quietly. I mean, you've seen me, would I ever? And I made sure I had the most elaborate paper trail I could possibly have. That said, this morning I got a call from Christian from DeliverThat, he's a pretty big guy up there. In fact, he's the one who sends out the disbursement of reports and makes sure we get paid. He contacted me to let me know that he was going to be the one paying me for the order discrepancy and reactivated my account, as well as reinstating my preferred status on the platform. Why it took so much to do that is beyond me. He also made a point about saying that he is going to heavily coach the support teams because nothing I said was out of line and they were in the wrong 100%. So good on them for taking as much ownership as they did. Influence. I feel like the inevitable point of me having a YouTube channel and making videos of this type of content had some kind of influence on the decision they made. First of all, I had no intention to weaponize the channel in such a way to where it could be perceived as such. Did they have any idea I was Driven Wyld or had a website or hosted a Discord to connect drivers to exclusive professional opportunities? Maybe, but I didn't tell them personally or any support agent of that matter. So if they knew who I was, it was through the grapevine and not me. If it did, on the other hand, and you were thinking whether or not to start a YouTube channel, just saying there may be something here. Other important points. Look, the reality is that this could have been 1,000 times worse. I have heard so many horror stories about people getting wrongfully deactivated on so many different platforms. That said, there are some points that I would like to note that did help in the event that you find yourself in this situation. Never stay silent. If you ever find yourself being wrongfully deactivated, the worst thing you could do is just be silent about it. They did the right thing this time, but let's be honest. If I didn't say anything to the higher-ups, would I be reactivated? No. The squeaky wheel does get the grease. Also, creating a paper trail with social media sites such as Facebook, YouTube, definitely helped as well. Got people's attention and things turned out okay. Just don't be the guy to just sit there and take it, you know? Disagreement isn't unprofessional. One of the things that Christian said that was important in terms of me getting reactivated was nothing I said was out of pocket. I just simply pointed out some of the poor behavior that was taking place during the support call. I didn't get personal. I didn't get loud. I kept it clean. I continued to fight properly regardless of the adversity I was experiencing from support. Didn't make personal attacks. I just stated the reality of things. That kind of treatment is reserved, at least for me, for those who treat my people like shit and discriminate for no reason, especially against gig workers. I could ruin them all day long. Make a paper trail. I kind of alluded to this a few times, but I also made sure to make an extensive paper trail using social media posts, emails, text messages, screenshots. I wanted to make sure people were held accountable properly. Something that most people don't do enough about in the event that a support agent decides to reach out and contradict your points. You need to elaborate and respond to their framework accordingly. One of the points that was mentioned was that I was hostile and drivers must be able to resolve conflicts in a constructive and professional manner. I simply pointed out that calling them out after being hung up on isn't a display of hostility. It is a sign of their incompetence and a lack of accountability. I also made sure to send those emails to the higher-ups and have this properly handled. I didn't allow them to frame the situation the way they wanted it framed. I reframed it myself professionally. I improved their points about being unprofessional right by making a statement such as,
"Oh my god, all you did was validate your deadbeat dad by being the reason he didn't stick around. I mean, Jesus Christ, who do you think you are?"
Because that would be emotional and unprofessional. Just because you can come up with creative insults doesn't mean you should. Remove dependence. There are two things that people get really emotional about if you get right down to it: money and relationships. One of the ways I knew I could remain unemotional about the whole thing is by removing dependence from any one company that I work with financially. I have a very well diversified gig portfolio of both larger and smaller companies, and I'm working on various businesses. Treating the gig economy as an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal. That way I have a variety of opportunities to earn in various different ways, so that way I can maintain a level head. One way you could do that is by onboarding with other gig apps and companies, such as those you could find in the Driven Wyld Discord community, which is exclusive for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in the self-employment and entrepreneurial space, featuring some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker, exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings, more live streams with high-level professionals in our industry, educational systems to help you build your dispatch company, and scalable opportunities. Whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn or looking for an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal, there is something here for you. Click the link in the description and sign up to get started on making the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.